No DQ Galaxy, we are live with a recap of Friday Night Smackdown for October 4th, 2024, on the eve of WWE Bad Blood in Atlanta, Georgia. It is going to be a hot show. We have 5 matches, but they are 5 significant matches, especially 2 of them. We'll get to that in just a few moments. Thank you to everybody watching this, whether it's live or on demand. I very much appreciate your viewership and support. A lot to talk about with this episode of SmackDown. We opened with the country music star Hardy, not Jeff Hardy, not Matt Hardy, just Hardy. He introduced the returning AJ Styles. And speaking of music, AJ Styles still has that terrible theme song. I miss his old music, but that's just me. He did get a big positive reaction from the fans. He has gone back to being a face. He talked about how he missed everyone. He brought up how Nashville was where it all started. He said he did regret some of the things that he did in the past, but he is looking to rebuild his legacy. He said that it's still the house that AJ Styles built. Now, Carmelo Hayes interrupted. He ripped into AJ Styles. He said that maybe Styles is back just to announce the signing of a Legends contract. Carmelo then wanted to talk about himself, how he should be the U.S. champion, not LA Knight. Styles brought up his history with Knight, said Knight is relentless, and then Carmelo said he doesn't take advice from quitters. Crowd was chanting, "He's not him" at Carmelo, and then Styles proposed a singles match. Carmelo turned it down, but then LA Knight came out there, said that Carmelo is going to get stomped out by somebody. Then Knight proposed the idea that if Carmelo can beat AJ Styles, then Knight would go talk to general manager Nick Aldis. This led up to the match, AJ Styles versus Carmelo. Carmelo threw AJ Styles into the announce table early on and then taunted LA Knight. Then when we came back from the commercial break, the announcers brought up how AJ Styles had possibly sprained his ankle. And then all of a sudden, AJ was down and the referee just called off the match. Out of nowhere, the match is over. Very odd how this all played out. AJ Styles was pounding on the mat. He eventually got up and was able to walk to the back on his own. And then all of a sudden, LA Knight gave Carmelo the BFT. What happened here? Was this a work? Was this a legitimate injury? Caleb Jacobs sent in a $2.24 super chat. Thank you for that, Caleb. I appreciate it. Says, I feel like this is the AJ Styles retirement tour. Well, that was my first thought process. AJ Styles is getting up there. This could be his last run. There's been talk about his contract coming up soon, that he's going to be leaving. Maybe this is the beginning of that final run, and this was, in fact, an angle to make you think that he might be on his last legs, that he's just not able to perform at a high level anymore. There was also a backstage segment where they showed AJ Styles being checked on by the trainers. It felt like a work to me, but also you never know with wrestling. Sometimes people get hurt, but I feel like they put so much emphasis on showing replays and showing the footage of him backstage. It it came off like a work, but also in this new era of Triple H and WWE wanting to add a little bit of more realism. If somebody gets hurt, they might just go with it and try to implement it into the story. At this point, I haven't heard any official confirmation on what's going on here, but it felt like a work to me. And sometimes they do the X when somebody's hurt, and there have been other times where they've done the X when it was an angle. So that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Anyways, we'll see what happens with AJ Styles, and stay tuned for any further updates regarding that. We had, by the way, they did mention TNA. Michael Cole brought up AJ Styles' past. And speaking of TNA, there was a vignette, a little teaser, a coming soon teaser. Now, in this video, there was a car driving through a city, and I should have instantly recognized the city, but several people saw little split-second clips. There was a fist, which apparently is the Joe Louis fist, and the city was Detroit. Now, there's a certain tag team that used to be in TNA known as the Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. I believe the Brazilian SmackDown announce team, one of those guys on commentary just blatantly said Detroit and Motor City Machine Guns. Now, what's going on here? There was talk that Motor City Machine Guns were going to be part of NXT, but remember, there was also talk of the Lucha Brothers being on the main roster, and well, it doesn't look like that's happening. At least Rey Fenix isn't going to be part of WWE for the foreseeable future. So maybe WWE decided, well, let's give the Motor City Machine Guns a shot on SmackDown. And that's what it appears to be at this point. Motor City Machine Guns coming to SmackDown. Should be fun. Happy for those guys. I mean, they've paid their dues for many years now. They've had a long run in TNA and other promotions. They're finally going to get a big opportunity in WWE. Shelley did what, like 2 matches in NXT a few years ago. Sabin, I don't believe, has ever wrestled in WWE. And they've been in the business for a long time. Sabin was in TNA like 20 years ago. They're in their mid-40s now, but hey, better late than never. They could get a couple years on the main roster, and I'm happy for the guys. They definitely earned that spot. We had our dumpster match, Chelsea Green going up against Michin, and this was pretty entertaining. Dumpster match. They had the dumpster out there. You have to put your opponent in it and slam the lid. Chelsea Green had a trash bag for her ring attire. It was creative. Chelsea did get in some offense. She busted out a Canadian Destroyer. She threw Michin in, but Michin was able to block the door from being shut. And then they got back in the ring. Michin countered the Unpretty Her. And then Michin built up some momentum. She put a table on top of the trash can, but then Piper Niven attacked Michin, went for a cannonball, but missed and crashed into the dumpster. Then Michin took Chelsea and powerbombed him off the apron, threw the table into the dumpster. Crowd popped huge for this. They were chanting, "Holy shit." And then Michin slammed the lid shut, won the match. And then afterwards, Chelsea Green emerged and she was covered in waste. Michael Cole was making all these goofy jokes. It almost felt like something Vince McMahon would book. But hey, this was entertaining. And sometimes these types of segments are fun to watch. And Chelsea did a great job here with her reactions to everything. I mean, she made the absolute most of this. Even though Michin won, I feel like Chelsea was the star of the match. So, yeah, really good stuff here. Fun match, something different. They don't do these dumpster matches too often, and Chelsea absolutely made the most of it. Another shout out to Caleb Jacobs, who sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you, Caleb. Says, Motor City Machine Guns should win the tag team titles in the first match. Well, maybe they will. We'll talk about the tag team title situation in just a little bit, but I'd like to see them get a little bit of a run and maybe even win the tag team titles. Why not? They could probably have a good 2 to 3 year run in WWE and then transition into roles as trainers. But yeah, I'd like to see them get their moment. If Bobby Lashley can get it at 45, why not the Motor City Machine Guns? So they did show the footage of AJ Styles, and then they said he was taken to a local hospital for x-rays, possible left ankle injury. We'll see what comes out of this. And then Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, the women's tag team champions, they met up with Naomi. I guess Naomi is going to be the third host of Bad Blood. And then Bayley approached Naomi and once again said when she wins the title against Nia Jax, Naomi will be the first person that gets a title shot. Then Bayley came to the ring. She called out women's champion Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton. Bayley put over all the past women's champions and said that Nia does have a dominant run that those others didn't have. Bayley said there's two people that can take the title from Nia. That's Bayley and Tiffany Stratton, who holds the Money in the Bank briefcase. Bayley mentioned that Tiffany has that briefcase and that's how she can win. But then Tiffany responded by saying that she doesn't need the briefcase to beat Nia, and that got Nia upset. So Tiffany had to backtrack, told Pam, which is Bayley's real name, Pamela, and then quickly corrected herself. So I wonder if that was a mistake by Tiffany. It was funny either way. Tiffany told her to bow down to Nia. Bayley said she's not doing that, and she's not doing anything for Tiffany because she has zero respect for Tiffany, the stupid bitch. That's what Bayley said. Tiffany then tried to hit Bayley with the briefcase but missed. Nia attacked Bayley. However, Bayley fought back and used the briefcase on Nia, laid her out, put the title over Nia's body, and took her leave. So Bayley gets the best of Nia Jax on the go home. I think I'm feeling pretty confident with my prediction. By the way, if you missed the video, we got the No DQ predictions video for Bad Blood up on the YouTube channel. You can head right over to nodq.com/YouTube and check that out. Now, Tiffany was in the ring and she had the briefcase. Nia was getting up. Crowd was chanting, cash it in, but Tiffany did not do it. So they're continuing to tease that. Naomi came out there and we had a match, Tiffany versus Naomi. Good match. Some nice athleticism from Tiffany Stratton, some offensive or some innovative offense and innovative defense. They were countering each other back and forth. Naomi came off the top with a crossbody attempt, but Tiffany countered that. Then Naomi regained the upper hand, went for a split-legged moonsault, and Tiffany was able to avoid that. Tiffany went for her moonsault. Naomi avoided that, and then Tiffany tried to pin Naomi, but Naomi reversed it into a roll-up and got the 1-2-3 victory. Sure feels like, I mean, in the old WWE during the Vince era, when the Money in the Bank holder would go on a losing streak, that was usually a sign that their cash in is coming soon. But the thing is, WWE is playing it up so hard right now that I think they're going to wait a little bit longer. I still don't think it's happening at Bad Blood. I feel like when they make it obvious with the tease, that's when it's not happening, and they wait until people are not expecting it, and that's when you go for the cash in. But we'll see. We'll see what they do on Sunday or Saturday, not Sunday. It is Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern, early start time. Don't forget about it. Backstage, Chelsea Green had the slop, all the waist still covering her as she walked backstage with Piper. Everybody that she came in contact with was mocking her, making fun of her for smelling really bad. Austin Theory had a cake, and he was upset about the smell, thought it was his cake. And Nick Aldis made some jokes. Then you had Carmelo Hayes come in and said since he beat AJ Styles, he wanted his title match. Nick Aldis said he needs to check on AJ Styles first, and then he'll talk with Carmelo next week. Again, we'll see what happens with that. We had Jacob Fatu cutting a promo with the Bloodline as they headed to the ring for the main event ladder match. And Jacob did a little bit of talking, said everybody loves their tribal chief, and then Solo told everybody to acknowledge him. Then the Tongas headed to the ring for the main event. But before that, we had Nia Jax confronting Tiffany Stratton backstage, and Nia was intimidating her, and Tiffany admitted that Nia is her queen, and then just had a look at her briefcase. So what's going to happen? She's definitely conflicted, but at least for now, she's still on Team Nia. Main event time. We had a 3-way ladder match. And by the way, I thought Jacob did a good job on the mic. He's got so much more passion and just intensity with his persona than Solo Sikoa, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm not sure where they're going with this Bloodline storyline. It's definitely intriguing. I'm sticking with what I said with the Bloodline winning, but the betting odds have Roman and Cody winning. And the thing is, they did mention on commentary, this is Roman Reigns' first match back since WrestleMania. Is Roman Reigns really going to lose his first match back? But then they also said, they made it clear that this is the main event, the tag match, and not Hell in a Cell. For them to put the tag match in the main event, something big has to be going down, right? I feel like there's going to be more to it than just Roman and Cody win and that's that. Something's up here. Anyways, let's talk about the tag team title ladder match. The Tongas, Tama and Loa defending against DIY. And by the way, I think they have new music again, or at least like a remixed version of their song. They keep changing it up every week, Def Rebel. And this one's not bad. This one's actually pretty solid. And then we had the Street Profits with B-Fab. We had a very good TV ladder match. Like, I wouldn't say it was among the best ladder matches of all time, but for a TV ladder match, it was very enjoyable, well worked. Everybody got to shine in this one. So early on, DIY and the Profits were working together to try and beat the Tongas and take them out of the equation. But then the Tongas got back in it and We had some dives over the top. You had the Bloodline grabbing a ladder outside of the ring. Dawkins came over the top and crashed into them. Then Ford came over the top and took out everybody with a big dive. Then Ford brought out a table. And then after the break, DIY gave Tonga a shatter machine as Tonga was coming off the ladder. And then they put a ladder over Loa's head and did the meet in the middle. And then another ladder was set up, and Ford jumped over the ladder, delivered a blockbuster to Ciampa. He kind of didn't get all of it, but the one overhead angle definitely looked better than the second angle they had of it. Then the Tongas were able to regain control. Then B-Fab took a chair away from them. DIY used some chairs, and then Loa got laid out on a table by DIY, and Ford came off the top with a frog splash to the outside, putting Loa through a table. Tama Tonga tried to fight off everybody, but it was 4-on-1, and he got the Shield powerbomb from DIY and Dawkins, put through the announce table, and then DIY instantly turned on Dawkins, super kicking him. They tried to set up a ladder and climb, but then Ford did a springboard leap back into the ring onto the ladder. Then all four were trying to climb. All four were climbing. Then Tongas got back in the ring. You had ladders set up in each corner, and DIY and the Profits knocked each other off the ladders, and they all crashed through the ladders below that were set up in the corners. Then the Tongas were able to take advantage of this, climb up, and retain the titles. I thought it was a great finish. Well done here. Tongas picked up the big victory. So you elevate them as champions. And Caleb Jacobs mentioned this earlier. Maybe Motor City Machine Guns will be the ones to dethrone the Bloodline. After the match was over, Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu came out there to celebrate the victory. Now, WWE did post a video of AJ Styles leaving the arena on crutches. So make that what you will. But yeah, I thought the main event was really good. And overall, I thought it was a very solid SmackDown to build up Bad Blood. Despite no Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes, I thought it was a very good show. We'll see what's going on with AJ Styles. But the main event was awesome. And the dumpster match was very entertaining. And the stuff with Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Bayley, that was entertaining. I'm going to give the show a B+. I thought it was a very good SmackDown this week, and I'm looking forward to Bad Blood. Should be a great show as we head into the final quarter of the year. The final 3 months, we got Bad Blood, and then Crown Jewel, and then Survivor Series. I'll be doing live coverage of Bad Blood on No DQ, probably around 9 p.m. Eastern on the No DQ YouTube channel. And don't forget, you can always access the YouTube channel at nodq.com/YouTube. Interesting comment here from Kurapika07. No Kevin Owens or Randy Orton on this show. So, as I mentioned earlier, when WWE blatantly teases something, that's when I think it doesn't happen. When WWE tries to make you forget, that's when they throw in the swerve. So maybe this is done on purpose. There was a reason why there was no Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, because they want people to forget about them, and then all of a sudden, one or both of them pop in at Bad Blood. Now, will they help Roman Reigns or Cody, or will Owens turn against Cody? That remains to be seen. So Bad Blood is very intriguing. A lot of different ways it can go. Thank you all so much for watching tonight. I appreciate your viewership and support, like I said at the beginning. And if you could, Please give this video a thumbs up on the No DQ YouTube channel. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for Bad Blood coverage. Enjoy Bad Blood. Have a great weekend. Say yes to NoDQ.com, and I will see you all next time.